Welcome back to Simright Fashion Academy YouTube channel for another interesting tutorial. In this tutorial, I'll be teaching you how to sew this trendy ASOKE front slits on the front slit and on the sleeves, as you can see right there on the thumbnail and on the video. So this style is actually trending. This time around you can use ASOKE to sew this and have a perfect design. Okay, so if this is what you want to learn, I encourage you to stay till the end of this tutorial to learn. So to begin this tutorial, I'll be making use of my Ankara print with my ASOKE. So you can use any fabric of your choice with a matching ASOKE. Okay, so what I mean by any fabric is in the Ankara family, Adire, can go with this ASOKE perfectly. So now this is the ASOKE I'm going to work with, and the ASOKE comes in different designs. It can be plain, it can be striped. Just choose anything that fits your both fabric. So for this, I'm using Ankara, and I'm going to cut out 3.5 yards from this Ankara. That will be the length of the Ankara I'm going to make use of. So I'll quickly cut out 3.5 yards. So this is my 3.5 yards, but I placed it on fold to the end. Okay, so this is the whole 3.5, which I placed on fold like this. So once you place it on fold, you have the folded edge. Then you place it on another fold the second time. So if I place it the second time to meet this other edge, this is what I will have. So I'm going to arrange it appropriately. So this is going to be the starting line, and this is the center front and the center back to the length, our desired length. So with that 3.5, surely you will have your desired length. So now we are going to mark out our vertical allowances. Okay, our vertical measurement starting all the way from this part. So if you look at this, is on fold, which is the shoulder. So you can decide to put a shoulder slant, you can decide to leave it on fold. So for me, I'm going to leave this on fold for this particular tutorial. So the shoulder line, I'm going to start my measurement right from this. So the first measurement we are going to take now is going to be the vertical measurement where we are going to have our sleeve. So since this is a BUBU, I'm going to take my measurement from this point, and from this point I'll place my tape. I'm going to measure my BUBU sleeve. So I always like to mark my BUBU sleeve at 12 inches. Okay, so 12 inches is very okay for your BUBU connection. So I'll mark. Then the next measurement I'm going to mark is going to be my waist measurement. My waist measurement is 17. So I'm going to mark the 17 inches. My hip measurement is 29. I'm going to mark the 29 inches. Then the next is going to be my waist, my length, the length of this dress. So the desired length of this dress I'm working with is 60 inches, but I'll add 1 inch for my hemming allowance. So I'm going to cut out this dress at this point, as you can see. So after marking out all your necessary lines, we'll start imputing. So now I'm going to extend my 12 inches line for my BUBU armhole, my BUBU sleeve, my waistline, my hip line, and then the length, actual length of this dress, which I told you I'm going to also cut out the excess I have there. So after that is done, the next is our neckline. So I'll come over to the neckline to impute my neckline measurement. So the neckline measurement I'm going to work with here is 3.5. So I'll mark 3.5 for the back, and I'll mark 1 inch for the back. So I'll go ahead and connect the 1 inch to the 3.5 width. After that, I'm going to connect my front neckline. So from here, I'll measure my front neckline at 9 inches. So the front neckline will be at 9 inches. So this is it, 9 inches. Then I'm going to also connect it, but I'll come back to it later. I'm going to show you how to go about it because of the ASOKE. So just make the mark of 9 inches, which is for the front neckline. Okay, so I will go over to the chest line to impute my bust circumference divided by 4. So my bust circumference divided by 4 is 40 divided by 4 is 10 inches. So I'll mark my 10 inches. So it depends on how big you want your bubu to be. But for me, I always like to add 2.5 inches to my bubu. It's going to be both my seam allowance, and it's also going to be my ease to my bubu. So whatever you have, your bust circumference divided by 4, just simply go ahead and add 2.5 inches or 3 inches depending on how big you want it to be. Then on the waist, my waist circumference is 38 divided by 4 is 9.5. I'll add 2.5 inches to it as well. I believe you understand, 2.5 inches to it. So once that is done, I'll go ahead and connect what I have here. I'll just go ahead and connect it. Can you see? Now I'm going to take the measurement of what I have on my hip. So my hip measurement for this bubu is 48 divided by 4 is 12. I'll add 2.5. So just keep adding 2.5 both for your seam allowance and for your ease. So this bubu is not I'm going to give little shape to it. I want it to be a shaped bubu. So if you don't want it shaped, you can just go ahead and connect it straight to the armhole, to the bubu allowance. Okay, so if you don't want it shaped, just go over to your hip circumference divided by 4, add 2.5 and take it straight like this. You can see how I placed my ruler. You can take it straight like this. Once you get here, you put your bubu curve connection. But for me, I want my own a little bit shaped. So once I get here, I'll place my ruler between the shape and the armhole, and I'm going to connect my bubu shape. So this is the one I'm working with, the shaped bubu connection. So coming over to the hem, I'll measure everything I have here, including the 2.5 inches. Everything together with my hip is 15. So that 15 inches, I'll come to the hem. I'm going to place my 15 inches on the hem and connect this 15 inches from the hem. I'll put it straight, my ruler straight, and I'll take it all the way to my hip. Can you see that? So now I'm going to cut the side and the back neckline, so we'll be able to cut out the front. So now that I'm sure of my measurement, especially this 3.5, which I measured for the neckline for the back, so I'm cross-checking to be sure it's 3.5 and it's 1 inch. So I'll go ahead and cut out everything at 1 inch and 3.5. That is the back neckline. Can you see that? Then create a notch at the center back like this. Then we'll now come over to the bubu sleeve. So the bubu sleeve, like I said, I always like to take 12 inches. So that part will be very free for me. Can you see? So it is at that 12 inches I'm going to cut. So I'll go ahead and cut. So if I'm cutting free bubu, I'll just go ahead and cut from here. But since my bubu, I want to make it a little bit shaped to the body, I'll just go ahead and cut from here. Okay, so it depends on what you want. So I'll just go ahead and cut what I have from this point over here, and I'm going to cut on this side. So it depends on which part you want to do. Either you want to go straight or you want to give it a shape. So whichever way, just follow the chalk lines. Alright, then I'm going to cut out the length. So this is what you are going to have for the BUBU. Okay, so it depends on how long you want the sleeve to be. So you know we did not take the measurement of the sleeve, so you can go ahead and take the measurement of your sleeve, starting from the center front, center back measurement. So let me say I want my sleeve at 20. Okay, because this is actually looking very long, so I'll mark 20. So to form a straight line, to cut it out at a straight line, I'll just go ahead and do this. I'll measure 3 inches here and 3 inches there. Then I'm going to cut it out. So I'll go ahead and connect that line. I'll make it a straight line, so I'll be able to cut it out. Can you see that? So once that is done, I'll simply go ahead and cut out the, so it depends on how you want this part to actually look like. So I've cut it out right now. Then on this part of the sleeve, I'll come in by 1 inch on this part and trim it, connect it straight to this part. Okay, so it has that shape that we desire on the sleeve. So I'll just go ahead and cut it, shape it out like this. Can you see? So now we are done with the back piece of this. So I'm going to place a notch at this point, which is the shoulder line. The reason I'm placing this notch is because you are going to open up this dress. So this is what you are going to do. Just lift up the upper part of this dress and pick up the center piece of it like this. Can you see? So like this. So alright, so after cutting out and shaping out the sleeve, don't forget to make your notch for your pocket. So from the waistline, I'm going to take my pocket at 2 inches. Okay, come down by 2 inches, and then at that 2 inches, you do what? I'm going to make a notch. Okay, so right now it's time for us to start cutting out the front neckline, so we'll be able to add up the strip. So remember that we measured 9 inches and we still have our mark at 9 inches. So I'll quickly go ahead and connect from that point. But before I connect, we are going to use ASOKE. This is the ASOKE I'm working with. And this ASOKE, the width of the ASOKE, if I put it on fold like this, because that is what we are going to work with now. So any ASOKE of your choice, just put it on fold and take the measurement of what you have there. So for me, when my ASOKE is on fold, I have 3 inches width, but by the time I sew half an inch, I'll have 2.5. So because of that, we are going to take the measurement at 2 inches. So I'm going to mark out on this line. Just simply go ahead and mark 2 inches. Okay, so make sure it's at 2 inches. So I'll connect at 2 inches, and at that 2 inches, I'm going to connect it all the way to the neckline, exactly where I notched for the front. Then I'm going to mark my 2 inches from this point. I'll take that 2 inches all the way down. So I'm going to rule my line at 2 inches all the way down right now. So I'll take it to the hem and then rule a straight line. So I've ruled the 2 inches line back to the neckline. Can you see? So I'm going to cut it out right now from that 2 inches line. So when you are doing this, make sure the is exactly at the center front. So I'm cutting out the 2 inches. So from the hem, I'm taking it all the way to the neckline. So I'll go ahead and cut into the 3.5 inches neckline. Can you see that? So I'll take all of this out. So now we are going to take the measurement of the strip. Now we determine the length of the ASOKE we are going to sew on this line. So whatever measurement I get all the way from here to down will tell me how many inches length of ASOKE multiplied by 2. So I will go it this way. I have my notch at the center back. I'll go ahead and measure. So when you are measuring, be careful. So here I have 4 inches. I'll go ahead and measure up to the neckline, 14 inches. I'll continue my measurements. Can you see? So here I have 60 inches. So from that 60 inches, I'll measure the remaining. That is 66 inches. So these 66 inches I have, I'm going to multiply 66 inches by 2. So if I times 66 by 2, I have 132 inches. So this 132 inches, I'll come in with my ASOKE. So I'm going to put it on fold. Of course, the ASOKE I bought is a full length of ASOKE. So I'll just put it on fold to see if I can get 66, which when multiplied by 2 will give us 132. So I'll just place my tape and measure my ASOKE from that point, hoping to have up to 66. Fine and good. This is where we have 60. So I'm going to cut it out, but I don't want to waste this ASOKE, so that means I'll have to adjust it and retake the measurement. So I'm going to do that right away. Now I'm done placing my hairstay on the ASOKE. So I have to place it all the way down, and I have 2 of them right here, and it's right here on fold. So this particular part is going to be the center back, where we are going to attach the back collar. So now I'll come in with the dress once again. If you remember, we placed it this way and took the measurement from the center front. So this point was the point of our 9 inches V line before we started marking the 2 inches. So to attach this collar effectively, I'm going to take the measurement of what I have from the center back as it is there on fold. You can see how I'm taking that measurement. I'll take it all the way to that V line. So at that V line, I have 14 inches. Can you see that? From that point, we connected the V at the front to the center back. I have 14 inches. So I took that measurement from this point. You can take it either way. We still have 14 inches. So now I'll take off the dress and bring back the collar. So like I said, here is the center back of this collar. So before you do that, make sure it is equal. So now I'm going to take the measurement of 14 inches from that point. So from here, I'll place my tape and mark my 14 inches. Okay, so this 14 inches, I'm placing it on the midpoint. So this is what we have. I'll just find the midpoint, and the midpoint falls on this line. Okay, on this line of the ASOKE. Then after that is done, I'll come back to the hem for the slit, and we are going to measure the slit at 18 inches from the hem. So I'll measure it 18 inches. That is where we'll have our slit. I'll mark. I'll also get the center or midline. So just put it together, and the midline still falls on that line. So I'll bring my ruler and connect what I have from here. In fact, I'm going to sew on this line I'm marking right now, the way it is together. I'm going to sew on it till I get to this point. Can you see? So I'll stitch from here to this point. Let me do that. So now you can see my stitches. Okay, I'm bringing it closer for you to see what I did. I have to back stitch at this point and stitched up to this point and back stitched. So the next thing I will do now, I want you to watch what I'm going to do. I'll put this and this together, just fold them together to form the collar. So that's what I'm doing now. So the part that we stitched, I'll bring this and this way, like that. Can you see that? So you can see the collar line. This part is going to be the collar line, and what we have right here will be the slit area. So I'll go over to my ironing table and give it a good press. Okay, so I'm going to iron it flat, so it gives us it relaxes perfectly for us. After ironing it, this is what I have at the collar parts, and this is what I have. I've stitched the center line and have given it a good press, and this is the slit. So we'll go ahead to attach this to the main dress. So I'll come in with my dress. So note the part that is right and the part that is wrong side and right side. So here is my right side, and this part is the center part. So note I made a notch right here. So I'll go ahead, and this is the collar. So I'll find the center. This is the center front. So you can just place a notch to it, but for me, I made a crease line. So on that crease line, I'll lay the collar this way and secure it with my pin at that point. So from that part, I'm going to sew the collar round. So provided you have held it with your pin at the center, just go ahead and sew, open and sew, match and sew. I'll match and sew. Once I get to the end of the dress, I'll match the other part. Let me do. So I just want to show you how I'm sewing the ASOKE into the neckline. Okay, so I placed my ASOKE on top, and I'll sew all the way to the hem, and I'll turn the other side from the center back and sew to the end as well. Alright, so after sewing the neckline, this is what you have till we get to the strip. So but before we close up the sides, I'm going to take the measurement of what I have on the sleeve. So here I have 23 inches. So this 23 inches, I'm going to sew my ASOKE on it as well. So I'll just cut this ASOKE from this point. The length is 23 inches already. So I'll divide it exactly at that point like this. So after that is done, I'll come in with my sleeve. I'll go over to the machine. I'll just use one to demonstrate to you. So what I have here is right side. I'm going to place right side of the ASOKE on top of the wrong side. Here is the wrong side and this is the right side. I'm going to sew it from one end to the other. So I'll just blend up this part, okay? I'll just blend it into that line. So after sewing, I'll top stitch it this way. So let me do that. Here I've stitched the ASOKE and this is the right side. Can you see the right side? So I've stitched at 0.5. So I'll just turn it over this way. So in turning it over, I'm going to turn it this way. So you can just go over to your ironing table and give it a good press, or you can also top stitch the ASOKE on the part of the lining so it lays nice and flat. So I'll go over to my machine. I will fold in this part of the ASOKE. So I will advise, if you don't want much stress in folding this, don't use the other part, the other natural part of the ASOKE. I believe you understand. But for me, I've already sewn the natural part, so I'll have to fold it in a little bit like this and top stitch on top to avoid all these frills. Okay, so I'll go over to my machine now. I'm going to top stitch right very close on top of it. So this is what I mean. You have to make sure the part of the fabric is in, and then you top stitch. You just fold in a little, just a pinch of it, and top stitch. So I'm going to top stitch. I'll keep doing this. That is what I'm going to do for the both sleeves. Then I'll go ahead and close up the sides. So I'm done with the sleeve right now. So this is what I have on the inside, and this is what I have on the outside. So the aim is to have the ASOKE match up with the collar. So I'll go ahead and turn all of this to the back as usual. I'm going to sew the 1 inch I added to this dress. So if you want to add a pocket, it's all by choice. You can go ahead and add your pocket, but for me, I'm not adding any pocket to it. So you can add any pocket of your size, of your choice, okay? Either an inner pocket or outer pocket, but it has to be 2 inches below your waistline where I notched. So I'm going to close up this to the end, and we are done with this dress. So now I'm done joining the sides, as you can see. So on this corner, okay, where we have the curve, I will advise you to make a little notch to ease that part for you. Okay, so I always like to do this, just a little notch, but be careful you don't cut through the stitches. Okay, so I'll repeat the same to the other side, then give my dress a good press, and we are done with this class. So thank you very much for coming to this tutorial once again. If you are new to this channel, please kindly subscribe, turn on your notification bell to receive videos like this every day. Like this video, share to family and friends, drop your comment on the comment section and your suggestions as well. Thank you once again. See you in the next class. Bye.